In 1526, the Battle of Mohacs, around 130 miles south of Budapest, would lead to the destruction of Hungary as an independent kingdom and its partition between warring empires and religions. And it would also lead to a very odd ritual, but more on that later. The military disaster also cost the country its king and precipitated the pillage of Buda Castle and its surroundings. The battle saw the defending forces of Hungarian King Louis II ranged against the invading Ottomans under the command of Suleiman the Magnificent on August 26, 1526. The Ottoman cavalry caught the Hungarian army in a deadly pincer movement, while Ottoman cannons and Janissary musketeers pulverised the Hungarian centres, heavily armoured knights and infantry. King Louis was also the sovereign of Croatia and Bohemia, but the Ottoman victory would see his kingdom ripped apart. Louis did not live to see it, however, as the 20-year-old king died while attempting to retreat. He fell backwards off his horse while trying to traverse a steep ravine. He tumbled into a stream and drowned under the weight of his armour. The death of the king, who did not leave an heir, meant his titles passed to the omnipotent Habsburgs. The Ottoman victory led to the partition of Hungary between them and Austria. The Ottomans gained suzerainty over the nominally autonomous region of Transylvania, while the Austrians gained western Hungary and the remnants of the Kingdom of Croatia, as well as Bohemia, as the Hungarian kingdom was expunged and consumed piecemeal by rival regional hegemons. The victorious Turks entered and pillaged Buda Castle and its environs before leaving the area in ruins and retreating to safer territory. They would later return to fully occupy the city. The Ottoman Empire retained control over Hungarian territory until 1699, when they were eventually driven out by the Habsburgs. But as I mentioned earlier, Hungary's defeat could have led to a very strange ritual. The potentially pagan-influenced ritual of Busojaras, which takes part in Central Europe and in particular Hungary, but also parts of Serbia and Croatia. The annual celebration is part of the traditions of the South Slavic Sochi people in Mohacs, Hungary, and involves dressing up in fearsome hairy horned beast costumes in February in the run-up to Ash Wednesday. There is more than one theory about the origin of the practice. One dates back to the time of the occupation of the area by Ottoman Turkish forces in the abortive 1687 campaign, rather than the more successful earlier invasion by Suleiman the Magnificent in 1526. As the Sultan's troops approached, the locals were said to have abandoned the town and fled to woodland and swamp areas. According to legend, they were encamped one night by a fire when an elderly man approached and entreated them, "Don't be afraid, your lives will soon turn to good and you'll return to your homes. Until that time, prepare for the battle, carve various weapons and scary masks for yourselves, and wait for a stormy night when a masked knight will come to you." The mysterious messenger then disappeared, but the townsfolk followed his orders. Later, on the predicted stormy night, the promised knight arrived and, as instructed, the refugees donned their costumes, took up their arms and returned to Mohacs in a loud reconquest of the town. Alarmed by the incursion, it was the Ottomans' turn to flee in terror, believing that they were under attack by demons. Another, earlier version of the story holds that the Buzos, as the costumed host became known, were attempting to shoo away winter itself rather than the Turkish invaders. The latter, more primal version of the story has similarities with other Slavic traditions, such as the Balkan Koledari's Koledovane dance, which is still enacted in neighbouring Bulgaria in December and involves energetic dancing, loud chanting and the playing of instruments by costume participants to scare away supernatural winter entities like werewolves, ghosts and vampires, and more generally winter itself. The Buzos' masks are also similar in appearance to the Bavarian and Austrian myth of Krampus. Belief in the demonic horned anthropomorphized goat character is also a tradition in Hungary and some other Central European countries. The terrifying creature is said to punish children who have misbehaved in the period before Christmas. He is a companion and dark mirror of St. Nicholas, who it is said rewards well-behaved children. But whatever its true origins, the Busojaras remains a fascinating folkloric tradition. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.